breaking news. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wakasa na ede na okan Island TV Plus and your first time I will subscribe no share video na for so enya bia he. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia one of the aspirants of again new patriotic party on presidential prime minister ombeko in January 2026. Any ebeye P council ebeye gigim ebeye gugum na ni nyina no efa Pandai city any ehun echinyuahyew ehun heat ya ebo hun frama ebo across the entire country. In fact, lawyers aka ho asem, civil society organizations aka ho asem, concerned citizens enso aka ho asem. In fact, obia eka this particular seat no ye nyina yenim. Of course, say follow ye kakra bit of background. Pandai seat no just say ye di ho komo kakra ewo court ene parliament na Martin Yindam ono na seat no wote so na Daniel Nsala ono ye NDC parliamentary candidate of file electing petition na petition no mu no ana wo say enema bi ankoye in the last 2024 elections a course no enti court nhwe na baby apepepe yo no onfanto na bosumi etwa mu November bosumi 24th ana court ede na dozi mbae ede ruling mbae se wo hwehwe lense mu no 41 police station initially ode bae no wagye atom de na enso wo hwe wo se wo ka aba no nyina egu nkyɛn na yekoto no foforo nti bae no ana kyerɛ se Martin Yindam enso ne na lawyerfo file ne law mo mfe no application for stay of execution. Next year say ampa high court no de na no isem abade nanso yentwentwen ruling no so kakra sene ye be na sene ye appeal no court no bi tie saa asem no na court emfa saa na no isem ne man na che say ehun chinyuahyew ene parliament entokwa akoso atwede amanfo abro pan enye Martin Yindam case ya anka minim se parliament se ye wo boxes wo sa che se akuturuku pa na che se ye wo no aboso no wo no ebobo wo parliament house na na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia one the leading candidate of course in the presidential elections primaries ahead of 2026 no no de na no atumi na wo say NDC for ne omoye no a na democracy kabima menka bia memu a oman konkon Ghana ye wo no na che se omo toto na ase ma ne omoye no omonye adan no omunjai emma pepepe yo enye adwuma na wono pese wono fa kuntu na ase na wono de chinchim obi ensa ejije na konya edifrent nsem wo se ye besre pa se so omoye sa pe na wonom fa kwan bi so abre de ye frɛ no state institutions no womu dwumadi ase enti munyan na wonom nyi womu dwumadi na pepepe yo emra enye saa de a na ye de law womu frɛ no bad precedents ana to ho in fact oka ensem bebre na on Yindam case no umientie nsem ni bia oka.
Good morning, Excellency.
Good morning,
the political situation in Pandai right now, the Electoral Commission has set up a date for the rerun of the election. What do you make of it?
Well, thank you very much. To say the least, very, very disappointed in what is going on in our country. It looks like our institutions of democracy and our tenets of democracy are being undermined. The issue of Pandai with Martin Yindam is not a new issue in our democratic politics. You've had issues with Dana Bodakpi, you've had issues with Cherished, in Asin, and basically you've had the House allow the court and the legal processes to take place and be exhausted. before state institutions are stampeded into acting in ways that undermine democracy. Matthew Nyundam should be given his day in court. He has filed appeal processes at the High Court. He has filed for a judicial review at the Supreme Court, and none of those cases has been adjudicated. So why the rush? Why the indecent haste? I think that he's being railroaded. I think that this undermines our institutions of democracy. I think that we should take a halt to these processes and allow him to have his day in court, just as others have done in the past. The House has never really rushed in this way when it came to the other cases. What is the difference with the case of Matthew Nyundam? I think it should not be this case. I think we should uphold the tenets of democracy. Democracy is something precious that we've all had and we've all subscribed to. When you start undermining its pillars, you break it down, and the consequences for the nation are very severe. And so simply because you have power, you shouldn't feel that you can ride roughshod over your opponents and over the principles of democracy. And so I stand with the principles that are being espoused by the minority in Parliament, and they are doing a good job at it, and we want to support all the principles that they are fighting over in this particular case. Thank you very much.
See, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, was it there have been cases similar to Matthew Nyundam and obo Jachikwesi. And he was a dear na a man Jachikwesi, the only cases that can be different from Matthew Nyundam. And he Empenfono no want to near me was there one pa na Ghana ye democracy a cremuno a more de and more fast animal wino and protonasi. Na any answer why any OSP so hun sensem a ababuburuja will be a kebi say OSP office no yenyim free ho ana say yemane ngo ho sika ye dem wo mo no eso na sika wo mo je dem o man no eno so sign na echeche say ne enkomo bebre na ebedi ntintima OSP ho nkomo no bedi ntintima ewo ebra eye wo che eye legal practitioner Martin Pebu. In fact, Martin Pebu a series of allegations against a office of the special prosecutor. In fact, a Kisia Jaben and a those allegations about him say or corrupt na the office ne incompetent na a cobana san na chese office ne say any omra na omabua omo e wo nhwemu. In fact, okoye no akalakasa kakra esi and a chase emuni editeni no any on the floor of Parliament honorable Dafiamakbo o kan ho asem say edien na asesa ene tumi ben na OSP no wa obi a obeboa with investigation utimi echi tum. In fact eba ye no e manfo bebre no a na akire wo no mo adwen e de afa ho well ebinom say ubetimi ayi eniema na wo container animu no the container na de enye hwe container na ye the office na emomu the content no wo container animu no de ubetimi aye ho bibi ebi no say ade no ba ye no enhye dan che sa entima ye enhye dan pepere ye ho na emomu no ye nya botre na ye ma sabi OSP office no enwo ho na eni ni dwuma wo say die na OSP office no de Office of the Special Prosecutor. In fact, one of the officers you created here under the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2018. And I say one share one you may edias. In fact, Yura Honorable Martin Amidu and a chance here. Now, during his time, or a series of allegations against the sitting president, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, especially in the Ejapa deal. And hereby Ghana fortune Australia masa and it say case no fimfram na anche ano I didn't resignation letter by say adwuma no wontimi nya bim ene wodidi ahodo mebre ene de ma na adankwa Akufo-Addo anche 2021 ana che say yewura Kisia Jaben enso ebeto adwumadie no so ene ono nso ehye adwumadi ase no che say Esembebre wanchu bebre say mokaya 2025 2024 at the later end of 2024 and obey press conference beto ankwa anoma oma ehunu se aban na kekere ne nsa e de agu nachi enti sa independence chese ono a wodi ne ho so adwuma no omoye no omudu omo so no se o hwade ani din ana chese sa independence no ense dani ho sa enso no yes omoye independent because in the press conference no ma yeti ase say aban no enema bebre a wo hia kan bebre a wo hia so de be ebedi ne dwuma no onya. And in fact say wo hwe the SML deal any the lead suspect are involved Ken Oforiatta. In fact Kisi Ajaben MIT as say because of Ken Oforiatta and the relationship with former president na ama sebi the collaboration obenya from state institutions na ayedin enti amenenti mi endi ni dwumadie no papa. In fact all these statements can be corroborated na wenu machie no ane emafo bebre no an achire o madwen. In fact even in parliament some politicians especially on the majority side a file petition say anka office na kra yen scrappy influence nti enkomodie ne de ade akoso a. In fact anopay on UTV ana former MP for Ablekuma Central Ebenezer Nina Late ordina no etun bi no say hwe office of the special prosecutor and the on said de hu adumasun bia onom of course office here say obeboayen with corruption and then corruption related activities scandals say obi awi o man sika mo hwe na mo prosecute no mo yan hwemu se obi o man sika mo nyi sika no se wo so odem so onko dem yan hwe sika ye de amasa office no and se wo hwe Ghana yen budget over the past years since the institution and since the inception of office of the special prosecutor no you allocating over 1 billion Ghana cedis and of course it will keep ballooning chese enya dia ebende enkoa na chese ye dia masa office no say onfanye na adwuma enti the question will be say upon the tune of this amount ye dia masa office no onfanye adwuma how much in recovery ana office no aye enti say compare ni ehu say ba so dia there's any office no ni dwumadi anka say wo so odie no on share that any. In fact oka ensem ni bebre moma yentie ne nsem ni bia oka
and this thing I've been asking all the time say since the establishment of OSP sika hin na dia amano na sika na otu where then why we true video am now no be catch me say or say your friend say wa save but sika na wagi am look now no there's issue bi wo ho so I was called by someone to assist for the bail of Obi Ewo Hodom. And I made a document a call. In fact, when I was going, I took 4 of my land title certificates at me. Because now I say, Omu ndini pakono onankasa ne die. So I have to stand in to bail the person. Yeah, BBA will say one be bailing the pakono. And I'm a PA by. If I'm former minister been a coy, and I'm a PA by. Now me say me. Or say we land certificate now the buyer no. Lawyer now a question say now me say any. But this one you need to get another one. Now me another one buy. Or say oh, okay then so is that the only thing that you have? Now me say I brought 4. 4. You asking for 1. I don't do the bill because me name how much I would be billing pakono. So do the value of the 4. And me can say me. I can even assist you to get a search report at Lands Commission if you want to ascertain whether these titles are correct. I feel me the 2 away no. I feel nipa na say omu mpe nipa kono ni property no mo pe obi a be belin there no. I feel also mo mpe me there ni bio no mo pe nipa kono na nipa no si bi ni property wa Accra na ti say Kumasi. So they wasted the time and everything. So you ask yourselves, what is the motive behind what they are doing? Is it proper arrest or doing investigation? And answer is an agenda. And so call office on this big office there. Say they no be empty offices, nothing.
You were asking or said, you know, my OSP save 5 million Ghana cedis recovered from corruption cases.
Or save here, and now retrieve here.
Save
in what way?
Now,
save in what way?
It's the idea of we save so home buying so that you can retain it in the national coffers.
So me refer phone also more. We are
talking
talking about the one you have alleged that there are corruption cases. Let's go and ask OSP. In fact, one of the issues on the member of parliament for Canada Moa constituency Ukrum one side. La Bianca issue. Yes. Yeah. Go and ask OSP. Say, how much did La Bianca Nasika woman and how much did OSP were able to retrieve from La Bianca? OSP. You see, we shouldn't look, just as there are some lawyers before your friend is saying everything. Some of us, they are inspiration to some of us. Or no, for instance, because first, I mean, any BB Abochi.
Yeah.
These are people that they be called on radio and TV, and when they are talking about law, you admire. Is Ankuma. I mean, you respect them so much. But they say, no, look, I can tell you the respect that people have, not in the office, no, but or no in person. The respect that people have for him is no more there because of the way he's doing his work. I'm telling you.
But sometimes, remember, I am focus on the woman say on the leader over there.
No, I'm saying no, the office need to change.
Supervising people.
The office no air to change.
To no
in person. I listen to your own colleague here. Your friend is saying, Nane Alkese. It should be I'll say or throw letter the call or honor. They say meaning say I respond now. So we will be asked, into what exactly are they doing? And they will tell you, so when you go to our website, you know, you will see the cases that we have done and blah, 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 and all those things. And you ask yourself, and I do not understand when I will catch a. What should I say? The next day, me, honestly, I don't agree with President Mahama. Say, I don't agree with him. Say, your friend is saying, it's premature, say, be in a yes, when I listened to him this morning, it was a view say, because the Attorney General is a member of government, we are attacking your political opponent. But the mindset of the OSP, no, Ebia, maybe I don't go for a deal to me there somewhere. And you know,
in a way, you knew I'm be a new set, Embra.
Me, if we get Obi devoid of politics. Devoid of politics. Nye NDC ni MPP. Na obet me I can no to John Mahama, no to any MPP person because maybe he's an MPP person I can fan and now NDC person I can fan. Now I won't say for the integrity of Onuankasa and for the sake of this country of ours, where people take advantage of your position to dupe this country, you know, may this kind of friends or minor for development there. I'll go in for it. But if we don't get anybody of that caliber there, okay. Seriously, and
Mr. Eben, edit was say, was it there was a time when your friend Nihuni Pebi na Nihuni Panane and she must ya OSP ne friend and say Omra na Omabo with investigation. Nature say I also did some forms biko na or day a Japadi be quiet, say a Japadiano. In fact, yes, ne huni pa dia. O se ono an kodi akagiremu e de ma ne huni pay. Na wienu mu no koso no a ala OSP ene na office ne che se saa enema we ankasa na omu hia saa ono no ne yonko no properties ni de ono mu hia no omu hia the suspect na ankasa the property was there we me kwa the properties de e wokumase enti agese ye kokumase enti wo se che se onte ase de enti a wonom eye saa de no se omudwumadi na nkasa na omonte ase ana asesen na saa se we nyina nkomo no koso no a ana His Excellency John Dramani Mahama enso ebe che na adwen wo ho se adabraka OSP no odi ne dwuma se ankura enti munya botre kakra yese nkomo ekoso ase obia ka se OSP office na ye nyimfiri ho OSP ye nyini firi ho kise jabene no krofo ye nyiwo mu mfiri ho ana wose munya botre na office ni enyini saa so ho afi na wonom nofo oye motofo a afi na wonom nofo onu ba bia enti mumma wonom ekwan kakra ene His Excellency John Dramani Mahama o ka say it is premature say was said yeyi office no de efiri ho na what the twa so say OSP no office no nko a ene what the prosecutorial powers also say ofa attorney general for instance attorney general oni aban na adwuma enti say wuyi ni say ono na enkobo aban no ene na panfo anase na sonfo ko adu a be den no waye bisa aban no ka ho edi OSP no nko an office a o sa independent power no enti we de Ghana for mesrem a mensa ye munya botre na mo masa office no emre kakra ene His Excellency okasa ya mo mientie ni nsem ni bia on the OSP issue.
And so that's why we're resourcing the Economic and Organized Crime Office and the other anti-corruption institutions, including the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And recently, there have been some controversy with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. I think it's premature to call for the closure of that office. The unique thing about that office is it is the only anti-corruption agency that has prosecutorial powers to be able to prosecute themselves without going through the Attorney General. And so people had mistrust for the Attorney General because the Attorney General normally is a member of government and is a minister of state. And so they believe that the Attorney General will be very reluctant to prosecute his own. But if there's an independent office like the Office of the Special Prosecutor, it won't matter who you are. Because they have security of tenure and they have prosecutorial powers, whether you're a member of government or you're a member of a previous government or you are anybody who has, misappropriated public funds, they have the law is behind them to be able to prosecute you. So I think we should give them a little time. Of course, people want to see, more prosecutions and more results. And so I'll just urge the OSP to speed up, some of these investigations and show people that the office is still very relevant.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we and Zimini Bioka, Enra, after said, a brief press on this particular issue. Now, Daddy Lumba, Yenina Yenim, Daddy Lumba, a case here, any amount for one will be a trainers, any ambassadors, a court, a diaconia, social media, just will be a cabby. Daddy Lumba. Kojofu so ahofe ye nyina enim se watwa nanom e won se de e de ba yi e manfo bi kura kire se papa no ya poison no ne ade ene ensem de buburu ja na ene court atentwi so de ye di bia eye bosumi ye twa mu ya ana court e de na do December ye se sisi maya no mienu ana se ye maame akusuya sewa ne odobruni wonu nyina ana kire se wonu wotumi se wonu ebeyi kuna ene e ba yi enyasem kuma ya twe asem yi e wo social ne media so na eyie no ana ene back and forth wa ana o de share se ebe happen eye na wotwe ya edi anim ya eye memene da 13th December na abusuya pani to park ya ene asemi ba ye wo jintre ha ofa ewuzu apani to park ni ofa ewuzu apani to park ni ene waje ni din papa na enwa ne ebeto odwakra kire se eje obi anwane se ewuzu apani ya ntoto ye no yesi police ya che no ene social media ne nam so sa ya che ewuzu apani to park ya che adan ya yesi yewura Daddy Lumba Daddy ba akopɛ kojofu so ahofe ne body ni yawia body a aka na kakra bi na miensa amoya kosie no body no ayira efa ahin na kokko yira na wei ana City FM eni awusiapani to park eni nkomo se awusiapani to park yese aposifu abefa o adan ya efunu no ayira obi aye ntotoye ene buja pa ni tupak say adabraka media for mo ha adwene ye che me wahi police station ben an ye che me kire say mo manipa asompa didi aka na kakra bi ama kire say ya ye na maso wa ye hia me ye ntotoye mo masompa didi ye nche me anam te hei endi ya bese say sa ensem bi say ba no a munya botre na munya hwehemu ene usiapa ni tupak na ni apere pa mu yentie usiapa ni tupak ni sem ni bia wakan.
Yes, Pacho, yet news be area say police are inviting Pacho. How true is it?
Police are inviting me.
Pacho, I don't know. Your friend say.
Police be inviting.
Oh, concerning the body, because you say. Okay, so now you. It is. But between Enani and Noah, you haven't been invited by the police. That is why we have called. Into your fair, you per se who details. So almost say body now you are into patron. Because it's on social media right now, all over. Say, police phones him. Yes, please. Yes, please.
One will say some few days now again. Why you focus? Or Kumasia or Yen in the bush for now, police be anchi, if I go here, then I. Enti do baby am so mo fa manu ntum bi why
enti na ya frɛ mo no ya pɛ mo details
friend say baby na mo be frɛ nche o mo say police ni na wache no what did the same police station no the same wo de mo bi say bisa question na mo afi mo di police only police in case onko di se mo ne
okay
enti abusu ya pɛ ni tupak ane ye tene nka no o say ye nche no no de na so ayehye enti obese say media for eya amunya botre enya asem bia ba e bia na mosom ne che say sabi eje mo pe views ni interaction ti ne che say mo age na mo ka ho asem abusia Island TV Plus say your first time me gidi say wani anje ye video no ho obe like na wa subscribe to the channel no e dey amaye na afi video no wa share na afoforo nso enya bi a share